The concept of the Chosen One is an idea that stretches across the vast expanse of human history, a thread woven into the fabric of every civilization. From the earliest tribal societies to the greatest empires, humanity has continually recognized the presence of a singular, extraordinary figure, one destined to transcend mortal limitations and embody the highest forms of human potential. These figures, whether portrayed as gods, sages, or heroes, have been depicted as beings who stand at the pinnacle of human awareness, responsibility, and capacity. They are not mere mortals, but symbols of what humanity can strive to become, embodying virtues like courage, wisdom, renewal, and vision. Across cultures and centuries, these figures have been seen as the epitome of what is possible, showing humanity a glimpse of the divine potential within each of us. Civilizations throughout time, regardless of their unique cultures and beliefs, have consistently pointed to a singular figure whose existence transcends the ordinary. These figures often emerge during times of great change when the world seems to teeter on the brink of transformation. It is during these moments that a new type of being is imagined, one who possesses a power beyond mortal comprehension. Yet this power is not about domination or control over others. Instead, it represents the embodiment of the human capacity for growth and evolution. These figures represent the possibility of becoming something greater, not by surpassing others, but by surpassing the limitations of the self. They offer a vision of what humanity can achieve when fully aligned with its highest potential. This vision transcends all human flaws and limitations, pointing toward a higher state of being, a state that each civilization has recognized and aspired toward in its own way. At the core of this recognition is humanity's deep and universal longing for a transformative presence, one that inspires awe and reverence. It is a longing for connection with something greater than the self, a desire to understand the mysteries of the universe and unlock the full potential of human existence. This transformative presence has been sought after throughout time, whether in the form of divine beings, prophets, or enlightened leaders. The idea of the Chosen One speaks to this universal yearning for purpose, meaning, and evolution. It is not merely a figure to be worshipped, but one whose existence reflects the collective aspiration of humanity. This figure represents the possibility of transcending the mundane and accessing something profound, something that can change the course of human history and elevate the consciousness of the entire world. As we delve deeper into the exploration of the Chosen One, it becomes clear that the presence of such a figure is not confined to any one culture, belief system, or era. The idea of a being who transcends ordinary existence, who embodies the best of humanity and the divine, has appeared in cultures across the globe. From the ancient Egyptians, to the Greeks, from the Indian scriptures, to the biblical prophecies, the Chosen One has been envisioned as a being who holds the key to unlocking the mysteries of life and bringing balance to the world. These stories, though diverse in their details, all point to the same essential truth. There is something within humanity that longs to recognize and align with the extraordinary. This figure is not just a myth or a legend. They are a symbol of what humanity is capable of achieving. By recognizing the Chosen One, we recognize the potential within ourselves to evolve, to transcend, and to become something greater than we ever thought possible. In this exploration, we will look at the significance of this figure and what their presence represents for humanity, a promise of transformation, unity, and divine purpose. The concept of the Chosen One spans across time, cultures, and geographical boundaries, a universal idea embedded in the mythologies and sacred texts of nearly every civilization. Despite the vast differences in customs, beliefs, and traditions, the theme of an extraordinary being destined to transcend ordinary life appears time and time again. This figure, whether described as a god, a hero, or a visionary leader, represents something greater than what the human experience is usually confined to, a presence that embodies the pinnacle of human potential, power, and purpose. This convergence of thought across distant and diverse civilizations points to a shared instinctive recognition of a figure capable of bringing about a profound transformation. From Mesopotamia to Greece to India, ancient societies pointed to a singular concept, a being who embodies the highest expressions of wisdom, strength, compassion, and divinity all at once. These stories are not merely about mythic beings. They are reflections of humanity's deep-seated desire for something extraordinary, something that could unite, heal, and guide humanity through its greatest challenges. One of the most remarkable things about these converging myths is that regardless of their cultural origins, they seem to describe the same essential idea, a figure who stands at the intersection of the divine and the human, transcending the limitations of mortal existence. In Mesopotamia, gods like Gilgamesh were portrayed as semi-divine rulers, capable of extraordinary feats, with a sense of purpose that shaped the entire destiny of their people. In ancient Greece, the gods and demigods were not simply rulers, but beings whose abilities and wisdom went far beyond that of ordinary mortals. Heroes like Hercules and figures such as Socrates and Plato were seen as embodiments of divine wisdom and power, offering glimpses into what humanity could achieve if it fully realized its potential. In India, avatars of Vishnu, such as Krishna and Rama, are revered for their ability to transcend earthly limitations, bringing divine guidance, balance, and restoration to the world. These figures, across their respective cultures, represented the ultimate ideal beings who combined the attributes of divinity and humanity into one living force. What these figures all shared was a profound connection to a higher purpose, something greater than personal ambition or power. They were, in essence, beings who were marked by a universal purpose to bring transformation, healing, and enlightenment to the world. They represented not only the culmination of human potential, but also the divine possibility that lies within each of us. These stories speak of a potential that transcends the limits of the human condition. In every civilization's portrayal of their chosen one, there is a fundamental truth: humanity has always recognized the existence of something beyond the ordinary, something capable of leading humanity toward a higher state of being, toward unity and understanding. What makes these figures so universally significant is the fact that, in many ways, they have served as guides, not just through myths and legends, but through the very essence of what it means to be human. These figures embody the possibilities we can achieve as individuals, and as a collective, the shared perception of the chosen one goes beyond the mere idea of a hero or a ruler. This figure is not simply a ruler over people, but a guide and a teacher, a living embodiment of wisdom, strength, compassion, and divine power. In nearly every myth, the chosen one is depicted not just as someone who possesses power, but as someone whose power serves a greater good. This is not power used for selfish gain or domination, but power used for transformation, healing, and unification. The chosen one is a figure who through their presence brings harmony to the chaos of existence. They represent the highest potential of humanity, the possibility of becoming more than just a mortal being, and instead becoming a vessel for the divine forces that shape the universe. These figures act as a mirror to humanity's potential, showing us that we are capable of transcending the limitations we often place on ourselves and stepping into a higher, more unified existence. What is especially compelling about the idea of the Chosen One is the way in which different civilizations, separated by vast distances and time, all seem to converge on the same basic idea. The similarities between the various depictions of these extraordinary figures are too striking to ignore. In Mesopotamia, Greece, India, and many other ancient cultures, there is a consistent thread that ties these myths together: the idea that a single being transcending ordinary life will come to lead humanity toward its ultimate potential. This figure is not just a god or a king, but a being who embodies the ideal qualities of wisdom, strength, and compassion, unifying the human experience with the divine. In each civilization's depiction, this figure serves as both a symbol of humanity's highest aspirations and a force that will guide the world toward greater unity and peace. These universal truths speak to a deep-seated longing within all human beings, a desire to connect with something greater than ourselves, to recognize our own divine potential, and to witness the transformative power that such a being can bring into the world. As we reflect on the concept of the Chosen One, it becomes clear that these stories are not just about power or divinity in the traditional sense. Instead, they represent the possibility of human evolution, the potential to rise above our limitations and transcend the boundaries of ordinary existence. The myth of the next god is not about achieving perfection, but about embodying the possibilities inherent in the human condition. It is about the potential for growth, transformation, and alignment with the divine. Across cultures, civilizations have created these figures not to worship them as distant gods, but to inspire humanity to recognize that such qualities, wisdom, strength, compassion, can be embodied in each of us. These figures serve as beacons pointing toward the potential within humanity to evolve, to grow, and to transcend the ordinary. They symbolize the idea that we are not bound by our current limitations, but have the power to evolve into something greater, something divine. The ancient myth of the next god is not just about the arrival of a powerful figure. It is about the recognition that such a figure represents the possibility of transcending the limitations that we often place on ourselves. It is about understanding that the divine is not separate from us, but is within us. The Chosen One is a reflection of the human desire to evolve, to rise above the ordinary, and to embrace the highest potential of human existence. This potential is not just a dream, but a possibility that has been recognized throughout history, across cultures and across time. The Chosen One is not just a figure to be revered, but a symbol of what we can all achieve. They represent the possibility that we too can transcend our limitations, unlock our highest potential, and step into the divine purpose that awaits us. In every civilization's creation of such a figure, we see not only a reflection of their deepest beliefs and aspirations, but also a powerful message about the potential of humanity itself. The Chosen One is not a figure to be worshipped from afar, but a figure to be recognized within ourselves. Through these myths, ancient cultures have left behind a blueprint for humanity, a blueprint that points to the possibility of transcendence, growth, and unity. The Chosen One represents the highest expression of what humanity can achieve when it recognizes its own divine potential and aligns with the forces that shape the universe. This is not just a myth, it is a vision of what humanity can become. A vision of the extraordinary, not as a distant dream, but as a reality waiting to be realized. The Chosen One is more than just a mythic figure. They are a living bridge between mortality and divinity. These extraordinary beings embody the full spectrum of human potential, merging the best of human qualities with divine wisdom in a way that allows them to transcend ordinary limitations. In the vast landscape of human existence, these figures serve as the intersection between the mortal world we inhabit and the divine mysteries that lie beyond our understanding. They are not just beings with godlike power or otherworldly abilities. They are reflections of what humanity can achieve when it aligns itself with the higher realms of existence. Through their lives, these figures demonstrate that the divine is not a distant, unreachable force, but something within every individual waiting to be awakened. In examining the characteristics of the Chosen One, it becomes clear that they are not defined by their rule over others, nor by their ability to dominate or control. Instead, their significance lies in the way they embody the full range of human potential. They are not kings or conquerors in the traditional sense. They are symbols of the greatest possibilities that lie within humanity itself. Through their actions, they show us the power of courage in the face of adversity, the wisdom gained through personal struggle, the renewal that comes from embracing change, and the vision to see beyond the immediate challenges of the world. These figures are not infallible. Rather, they are deeply human, experiencing the full breadth of the human condition, while also serving as conduits for divine wisdom. They are the embodiment of what it means to be human and divine simultaneously, living expressions of the possibilities that arise when the human spirit is aligned with a higher purpose. What sets these figures apart is their ability to represent the potential of humanity to evolve, to grow, and to transcend. They are not perfect beings in the traditional sense, but rather figures who navigate the complexities of life, face the trials of existence, and emerge transformed. They show us that greatness does not come from avoiding the hardships of life, but from embracing them fully, using them as stepping stones toward greater understanding and purpose. The Chosen One is not a figure who exists in isolation, but one who is deeply connected to the world around them. Their lives are a testament to the power of human resilience, the ability to rise above the struggles that define us, and the capacity to bring divine wisdom into our everyday lives. By embodying both human and divine qualities, they act as a living bridge between the two realms, demonstrating that the divine is not separate from humanity, but is embedded within our very being, waiting to be recognized and realized. At the heart of the Chosen One lies the embodiment of humanity's highest aspirations. These extraordinary beings are not about external power or dominance, but about the internal transformation that humanity seeks. They represent the journey of self-discovery, self-empowerment, and self-realization. In their presence, we are reminded that true greatness does not lie in how much we can control or achieve, but in how deeply we can align ourselves with the forces that shape the universe. These figures are not meant to be worshipped or idolized from afar. They are meant to serve as reflections of our own potential. Through them, we see the possibility of breaking free from the limitations we place on ourselves. Limitations of fear, doubt, insecurity, and limitation. And stepping into a higher version of who we can become. The Chosen One serves as a mirror reflecting the highest aspirations of humanity. They represent the desire to transcend the ordinary, to evolve spiritually, mentally, and physically. Through their lives, we see that true transformation is not about external circumstances or achievements, but about the deep internal shifts that take place when we align ourselves with a higher purpose. These figures are not concerned with power for power's sake. Rather, their power is a natural byproduct of their alignment with divine principles. They embody the qualities that humanity longs for: wisdom, strength, compassion, vision, but they do so in a way that is grounded in the human experience. They do not escape the struggles of life, but embrace them, using each challenge as an opportunity to grow and evolve. This internal transformation is the key to understanding the significance of the Chosen One. These beings are not distant gods or supernatural entities. They are representations of what we can achieve when we align ourselves with our highest potential. They show us that the path to greatness is not about external accolades or accomplishments, but about the deep inner work of transformation. This is why the Chosen One is so universally significant. They represent the process of evolution itself. They are a living embodiment of the journey toward self-realization and self-empowerment. Their power is not a result of their birthright or inheritance, but a result of their willingness to step into their full potential and align with the divine purpose that lies within them. As we explore the lives of these extraordinary figures, it becomes clear that they are not exceptional because of their power, but because of their ability to inspire transformation in others. They are not the chosen ones because they have been selected by an outside force, but because they have chosen to align themselves with the forces that shape the universe. In doing so, they become living examples of what humanity can achieve when it steps into its highest potential. They are the embodiment of the possibility that lies within each of us, the potential to transcend the ordinary, to evolve beyond our limitations, and to bring about a transformation in ourselves and the world around us. In every culture and civilization, the Chosen One has been a symbol of hope, transformation, and possibility. They are not just figures of myth or legend. They are symbols of the divine potential that resides within every human being. Through their lives, we are reminded that greatness is not something that is reserved for the chosen few, but something that is available to all who are willing to do the inner work of transformation. The Chosen One serves as a guide, showing us that the path to greatness is not about seeking power or control, but about aligning ourselves with a higher purpose and allowing that purpose to guide us. They represent the highest expression of what humanity can become when it embraces its divine potential and steps into the fullness of its purpose. The Chosen One is a figure who embodies the human desire for evolution and transformation. They are not meant to be admired from afar, but to inspire us to take action in our own lives. Through their example, we see that the journey toward greatness is not about achieving external success or recognition, but about aligning ourselves with the forces of the universe and allowing those forces to guide us toward our highest potential. This internal transformation is the key to understanding the true power of the Chosen One. They show us that when we align ourselves with our highest purpose, we are capable of achieving things that transcend ordinary human limitations. Ultimately, the Chosen One represents the culmination of humanity's deepest aspirations. They are a living testament to the possibility of transcending our limitations, evolving beyond our current state, and stepping into the fullness of our potential. Through their lives, we are reminded that true greatness lies not in external accomplishments, but in the internal transformation that occurs when we align ourselves with divine purpose. The Chosen One serves as both a guide and a reflection, showing us the path toward becoming our highest selves and inspiring us to take that journey with courage, wisdom, and vision. They are a living symbol of the extraordinary that lies within each of us, waiting to be awakened. Through them, we come to understand that we too are capable of transcending the ordinary and stepping into the fullness of our divine potential. Across every corner of the world, humanity has crafted myths and stories that point to the emergence of a singular extraordinary figure, one capable of transcending the limitations of mortal existence and changing the course of human history. From the earliest written records of Mesopotamia to the profound teachings of Hindu scriptures, the archetype of the chosen one has been consistently depicted. These figures are not mere heroes or kings. They embody something much greater. They serve as vessels for divine will, carrying within them the potential to reshape the very fabric of existence. Whether seen as gods or avatars, these figures are perceived as beings who possess the wisdom, strength, and divine guidance needed to lead humanity to greater understanding and fulfillment. In Mesopotamian texts, gods like Gilgamesh were revered not just for their earthly power, but for their connection to the divine realm. Gilgamesh, though a king, was seen as a being who transcended ordinary limitations, and his journey toward immortality reflects humanity's deep yearning for something beyond the human condition. In Hinduism, the concept of the chosen one is often embodied by avatars of Vishnu, such as Rama and Krishna. These divine incarnations descend to earth at critical moments to restore cosmic balance, teaching humanity about righteousness, devotion, and the power of divine law. Similarly, in ancient Greek mythology, figures such as Heracles and Perseus, though mortal in origin, were granted godlike abilities and tasked with achieving feats that brought divine order to the chaotic human world. Each of these figures represents a vision of what humanity can become when aligned with the divine will. These stories, recorded in sacred texts and passed down through rituals, carry with them more than just cultural significance. They reflect humanity's profound recognition of the divine potential embedded within the human spirit. The role of these myths and rituals is not only to explain the world, but to perpetuate the idea that such a transformative figure, one who embodies both human and divine qualities, is not a far-off fantasy, but a possibility that humanity can aspire to. The chosen one archetype serves as both a guide and a symbol, showing us that we too can transcend our limitations and connect with the divine within. The myths of these figures are not simply stories. They are profound expressions of humanity's intuition that something greater than ourselves is possible, something that can unify the human spirit and elevate it to a higher state of being. This universal recognition of the chosen one across cultures is not coincidental. It arises from a shared understanding of the human condition and a collective intuition about the existence of a force greater than what the eye can see. Whether these myths were passed down orally or through written scripture, they reflect a universal truth that there exists within humanity a deep yearning for transformation, a desire to recognize and align with the divine. These stories do not simply reflect individual cultures. They reflect a collective human consciousness that has always sought meaning, purpose, and connection to something greater than the self. The recurring depiction of a chosen one who embodies divine wisdom, strength, and compassion points to a deeper truth, a recognition of humanity's potential to rise above its limitations and become something extraordinary. The chosen one is not just a cultural construct. They are a symbol of what humanity can achieve when it connects with the divine, transcending the ordinary and stepping into the extraordinary. In addition to the mythological archetype, prophecies across time have consistently pointed to the arrival of a transformative figure, a being whose presence would signify the dawning of a new era. These prophecies, written in reverence and precision, offer glimpses into a reality beyond human comprehension, where the boundaries of time and space dissolve and a new cosmic purpose is revealed. The Mayan civilization, for instance, spoke of a time when a great spiritual awakening would occur, a time when humanity would recognize the divine presence within itself. The Mayans, known for their advanced understanding of celestial movements and cosmic cycles, believed that the arrival of such a being would usher in a new age of enlightenment and harmony. The Mayan calendar, often associated with the end of an era, pointed to this moment of cosmic transformation when humanity would align with the divine and evolve into a higher state of being. Similarly, the Norse prophecies of Ragnarok describe the arrival of a figure who would restore balance and order to a world teetering on the brink of destruction. In these prophecies, the gods and heroes are destined to engage in a cosmic battle where the forces of good and evil will collide, and a new world will emerge from the ashes of the old. The Norse believed that the end of the world was not a final, irreversible destruction, but a necessary transformation, a renewal of the world that would give rise to a new era. This figure, often seen as a hero or warrior, embodies the qualities of courage, wisdom, and strength needed to overcome the chaos of existence and bring about the restorations of balance and order. In the Bible, prophecies speak of a Messiah who would come to redeem humanity and bring about a new kingdom, one that transcends the limitations of the earthly realm and aligns with the divine will. The figure of Jesus Christ is often seen as the fulfillment of this prophecy, a being who embodies both human and divine qualities, capable of bringing salvation to humanity and revealing the path to eternal life. The prophecies surrounding the Messiah are not simply predictions of a singular event in time. They are expressions of humanity's deep longing for transformation and divine connection. These prophecies point to a future where humanity can transcend its limitations, find unity with the divine, and fulfill its ultimate purpose. What is remarkable about these prophecies is not just their consistency across time and space, but the precision with which they were recorded. The ancient cultures that created these prophecies did not do so out of random imagination, but from a deep awareness of cosmic patterns and cycles. The seers, priests, and prophets who recorded these visions were not simply forecasting the future. They were tapping into a deeper truth, one that transcended the limitations of their individual cultures. The prophecies point to a universal truth, that humanity is on a journey toward divine awakening, and that at a certain point in time, a figure would emerge who would embody the culmination of humanity's highest aspirations and the fulfillment of divine purpose. These prophecies are more than just predictions. They are evidence of humanity's deep awareness of a cosmic purpose and destiny, one that transcends time and culture. The precision with which these prophecies were recorded suggests that these ancient cultures were not simply speculating about the future, but were attuned to a deeper, more profound reality. The recognition of a chosen one is not confined to any one culture or era. It is a universal understanding that has existed throughout human history, a recognition that there is something greater than ourselves, something that transcends our limitations and leads us toward a higher purpose. The arrival of this figure is not seen as an event that simply alters the course of history, but one that transforms the very fabric of reality itself, realigning humanity with its true cosmic purpose. The idea of the chosen one and the prophecies surrounding their arrival remind us that the journey of humanity is not one of randomness or chance, but one of divine purpose. These prophecies point to a time when humanity will be awakened to its true potential, and a transformative figure will emerge to guide us toward a higher state of being. This figure represents the fulfillment of humanity's deepest longing for connection, transformation, and divine understanding. As we reflect on these ancient prophecies, we are reminded that the search for purpose and meaning is not just a personal journey, but a collective one. A journey that transcends time, culture, and space, and unites us all in the pursuit of higher consciousness and divine alignment. The concept of the Chosen One is one that resonates with humanity on a profound level, transcending geographical, cultural, and temporal boundaries. Throughout history, every civilization, despite its unique context, has conceived of a singular, extraordinary figure capable of altering the course of human destiny. These figures are not simply gods, heroes, or kings in the conventional sense. They represent something far more significant. They embody the ideal of what humanity could become when aligned with the divine, transcending mortal limitations to reach a higher state of being. These figures, whether portrayed in the ancient myths of Mesopotamia or the sacred scriptures of India, have always been seen as symbols of hope, transformation, and divine purpose. They represent the pinnacle of human potential, the possibility of evolving beyond the constraints of the physical world into a realm of greater wisdom, strength, and unity. The mythological archetype of the Chosen One is a powerful and universal symbol. From the Sumerian myths of Mesopotamia to the Hindu epics of India, from the Greek heroes to the ancient Egyptians, the figure of the Chosen One has appeared in diverse forms, yet with strikingly similar attributes. In Mesopotamian mythology, gods like Gilgamesh were celebrated not just for their kingly power, but for their ability to transcend the limitations of mortality. Gilgamesh's quest for immortality reflected humanity's deep-seated desire for something beyond the physical realm, a yearning for eternal significance and divine connection. Similarly, in the Hindu tradition, the concept of avatars, divine incarnations of gods like Vishnu, presents the Chosen One as a being who descends to earth to restore balance, protect righteousness, and guide humanity towards spiritual enlightenment. Figures like Rama and Krishna are seen not only as gods, but as embodiments of the divine potential that humans can aspire to, bringing with them messages of compassion, wisdom, and harmony. These ancient depictions show us that the Chosen One is not simply a figure of grandeur or power, but a living expression of human aspirations. They are embodiments of the divine potential that lies within every human being. In Greek mythology, heroes like Heracles and Perseus were portrayed as mortals, granted extraordinary powers by the gods. They were seen as figures who embodied both human flaws and divine qualities, navigating their earthly struggles while striving for a higher purpose. These figures, though part mortal and part divine, represent the potential for every human to transcend their limitations and embrace their higher calling. Similarly, in Egypt, the pharaohs were considered divine rulers, often depicted as intermediaries between gods and humans. They were believed to embody the divine on earth, symbolizing the ideal connection between humanity and the cosmos. What is fascinating about these myths is that despite their cultural and temporal differences, they consistently depict a being who embodies the highest aspects of humanity and divinity. This shared recognition is not coincidental, but speaks to a deep-seated human intuition about the existence of a higher force, a force capable of transforming human life and guiding us toward a greater understanding of our purpose. The universal nature of the Chosen One archetype indicates that humanity across cultures and time periods has always recognized the need for such a transformative figure. This recognition is not merely symbolic, it is a reflection of humanity's collective yearning for connection with the divine and a deeper understanding of the cosmic forces that shape existence. The stories of these extraordinary beings have been perpetuated through myths, rituals, and sacred texts. The role of these texts and rituals is crucial in keeping the concept of the Chosen One alive across generations. Through these myths, ancient societies taught their people the values of wisdom, strength, and compassion, while also conveying the idea that humanity could transcend its mortal limitations and connect with the divine. These myths were not merely stories, they were ways of preserving the wisdom and knowledge that each civilization held dear. In ancient Mesopotamia, the Epic of Gilgamesh was not just a tale of a king's journey. It was a reflection of humanity's deep desire to understand life, death, and the divine. Similarly, the Hindu scriptures such as the Mahabharata and Ramayana were not just stories of divine intervention, but profound teachings on the nature of duty, righteousness, and spiritual evolution. These texts serve as a guide for humanity, pointing toward the ideal of the chosen one and showing how one can rise above the mundane to achieve a higher purpose. This idea is further supported by the ancient prophecies that have been recorded across time. The Mayan civilization, known for its advanced understanding of the cosmos, spoke of a time when humanity would awaken to a higher consciousness and a transformative figure would emerge to guide humanity into this new era. The Mayans believed that certain celestial alignments and natural phenomena signified the arrival of such a figure. These prophecies were not vague predictions, but precise records of cosmic cycles and patterns, offering a glimpse into a reality far beyond human comprehension. Similarly, the Norse prophecies of Ragnarok describe a time of great upheaval when a powerful being would emerge to restore order and balance. This figure was seen not as an isolated savior, but as a catalyst for cosmic change, one who would bridge the gap between mortal and divine realms. The prophecies in the Bible further amplify the idea of the chosen one as a transformative figure. The concept of the Messiah in Christianity represents the culmination of this archetype, a being who would come to bring salvation and reveal the divine truth. These prophecies were not written in the abstract. They were rooted in a deep awareness of the cycles of history and the cosmic plan for humanity. The figure of the Messiah was seen as the fulfillment of divine purpose, a being capable of bridging the gap between humanity and the divine, offering a path to redemption and spiritual renewal. What makes these prophecies so remarkable is not just their consistency, but their precision. These ancient cultures, separated by vast distances and centuries, all pointed toward the arrival of a transformative figure whose impact would be felt across the world. The precision with which these prophecies were recorded suggests that these ancient thinkers were attuned to a deeper, more profound reality, one that transcended the limitations of time and space. The Mayans, the Norse, the Hebrews, and many other ancient cultures were not just predicting an event in time. They were recording glimpses of a cosmic purpose, a plan that had been set in motion long before their time. These prophecies were a reflection of humanity's deep awareness of its place in the universe and its potential to evolve. The idea of the chosen one transcends the boundaries of time and culture. It is a universal truth, one that has been recognized by every civilization that has ever existed. From the Mayans to the Greeks, from the Hebrews to the Hindus, every culture has pointed to a single being, a figure who embodies both human potential and divine wisdom. These prophecies are more than just predictions of an event. They are expressions of humanity's collective longing for transformation, for a higher understanding of the cosmos, and for the emergence of a figure who will guide humanity toward its ultimate purpose. What these prophecies reveal is that humanity has always recognized the existence of a higher force, a force that transcends the limitations of the material world and guides us toward a higher purpose. The chosen one is not just a symbol of divine power. They are a representation of humanity's potential to rise above the ordinary and become something extraordinary. These figures represent the possibility of transcendence, the possibility that humanity can evolve into a higher state of being, one that is aligned with the divine and the cosmic forces that shape the universe. Ultimately, the prophecies point to the fulfillment of a divine purpose, a purpose that has been embedded in the human spirit since the beginning of time. The Chosen One is not just a figure to be worshipped or revered. They are a symbol of the potential that lies within each of us. Through these ancient prophecies, humanity has been given a glimpse of its own potential, a potential that transcends the limitations of the physical world and connects us to something greater. The Chosen One is the embodiment of this potential, and their arrival signals the awakening of humanity to its true purpose. As we look to these prophecies, we are reminded that the divine is not something distant or unreachable, but is within us, waiting to be recognized and realized. Through the recognition of the Chosen One, we recognize our own potential to transcend, to evolve, and to become something extraordinary. Throughout human history, there has been a recurring pattern in the myths, symbols, and rituals of civilizations across the globe, a pattern that reinforces the idea of a transcendent, extraordinary figure whose arrival is marked by profound changes not only in human consciousness, but in the natural world itself. Central to this understanding are the universal symbols and motifs that have emerged time and again in diverse cultures. These symbols, such as the phoenix, the serpent, and the tree of life, are more than just artistic expressions or representations of specific deities. They are powerful, recurring metaphors that embody themes of transformation, renewal knowledge, and unity. Each of these symbols carries with it the resonance of a force capable of shifting the very fabric of existence. And in doing so, they point to the transformative power of the Chosen One who stands at the center of cosmic change. The phoenix, with its association to rebirth and immortality, is one of the most potent symbols used across various cultures to signify renewal and transformation. In Greek and Egyptian mythology, the phoenix is a bird that dies in a burst of flames, only to be reborn from its own ashes, symbolizing the cyclical nature of life, death, and rebirth. This imagery reflects the idea that true transformation can only occur after the destruction of the old, paving the way for the creation of something new. The Chosen One embodies this process of transformation, representing not just personal growth, but the power to renew the world around them. Just as the phoenix rises from its ashes, the arrival of the Chosen One signifies the potential for humanity to rise above its limitations, shedding its old, worn-out ways and embracing a new, higher existence. The symbolism of the phoenix reinforces the belief in the transformative power that the Chosen One brings, a power capable of reshaping the world by first igniting a process of profound inner and outer renewal. Similarly, the serpent, often depicted as a symbol of knowledge, wisdom, and healing, serves as another recurring motif associated with the Chosen One. In ancient Egypt, the serpent was revered as a symbol of divine knowledge and transformation, with deities such as Wajet and the goddess Isis embodying the serpent's capacity for both creation and destruction. The serpent's ability to shed its skin, leaving behind its old, outdated form, represents the potential for personal transformation, a shedding of the old self to make way for the new. In many spiritual traditions, the serpent is also seen as a conduit of divine wisdom, capable of transcending the boundaries between life and death. And for the Chosen One, this symbolism holds profound significance. Just as the serpent brings knowledge and healing, the Chosen One is a figure who embodies the wisdom of the ages, capable of guiding humanity through times of crisis and uncertainty toward a more enlightened state of being. The serpent symbolism reinforces the idea that the chosen one is not only a bringer of transformation, but a guide to deeper spiritual understanding, awakening humanity's latent potential for wisdom and self-realization. The tree of life is another universal symbol that spans cultures, representing the interconnectedness of all life in the unity of existence. In the biblical tradition, the tree of life in the Garden of Eden is a symbol of eternal life and the divine connection between humanity and God. Similarly, in Norse mythology, the great Yggdrasil tree is the axis of the cosmos, connecting all realms and embodying the cyclical nature of life, death, and rebirth. This symbol conveys the idea that the chosen one is not an isolated figure, but one who is deeply connected to the fabric of existence itself, bridging the gap between the earthly and the divine. Just as the tree of life connects the heavens, the earth, and the underworld, the chosen one represents the convergence of the mortal and the divine, uniting the human spirit with the cosmic forces that govern the universe. The tree of life symbolism reminds us that the chosen one is not only a transformative figure, but also a source of connection, drawing humanity into alignment with the divine order of the universe. These universal symbols, whether the phoenix, the serpent, or the tree of life, serve as metaphors for the transformative power the chosen one brings. They represent the potential for change and renewal that is embodied in the figure of the chosen one, who acts as a living catalyst for the evolution of human consciousness. These symbols have been passed down through generations, embedded in the cultural consciousness of civilizations across the world, reinforcing the belief that such a figure exists and that their arrival is a transformative event. Through these symbols, humanity has recognized that the chosen one is not just a myth or a legend, but a living possibility, a possibility that transcends time, culture, and space, resonating with the deepest yearnings of the human spirit. However, the transformation brought about by the chosen one is not just an internal process. It is also marked by profound changes in the natural world. The idea that nature itself responds to the arrival of such a figure is a concept that appears throughout history, particularly in the context of ancient prophecies and spiritual traditions. When the chosen one emerges, it is as if the entire universe acknowledges their presence, signaling a shift in the very fabric of reality. This can be seen in the way natural phenomena often coincide with the arrival of transformative figures, storms, calming winds shifting, or rare animals appearing during pivotal events. In many indigenous cultures, such signs are interpreted as messages from the cosmos, confirming the arrival of a figure who is destined to guide humanity toward a new era of enlightenment and unity. One of the most powerful examples of this phenomenon can be found in the biblical tradition, where the coming of Jesus Christ was accompanied by supernatural events such as the darkening of the sky and the splitting of the temple veil. These signs in the natural world served as a confirmation of his divine nature and the transformative power he brought to the world. Similarly, in the prophecies of the Maya, the alignment of celestial bodies and the appearance of rare natural events were seen as indications of the arrival of a transformative figure, one who would lead humanity into a new age of spiritual awakening and unity. The presence of the chosen one often manifests in the natural world in ways that are both awe-inspiring and humbling. In many indigenous traditions, the arrival of such a being is marked by unusual animal behavior, as if the creatures of the earth recognize the divine presence of the chosen one. In some cultures, Animals such as eagles, serpents, or lions are believed to represent divine wisdom and power. And their appearance during significant moments is seen as a sign that the world is aligning with higher forces. The idea that nature reacts to the presence of the Chosen One emphasizes the interconnectedness of all life and the cosmic harmony that such a figure embodies. The Chosen One is not a figure separate from nature, but one who is intrinsically connected to it, embodying the divine forces that govern the universe and bringing them into harmony with the world of humanity. Moreover, the shifting of natural phenomena in response to the Chosen One reflects the idea that the arrival of such a figure is not merely a symbolic event, but a real tangible transformation that affects the very fabric of reality. Just as the phoenix rises from the ashes and the serpent sheds its skin, the presence of the Chosen One signals a moment of profound change, one that is felt in both the spiritual and material realms. The natural world recognizes the significance of this arrival, and in doing so reflects the deep universal truth that the Chosen One represents a force capable of transcending the ordinary limitations of the human experience and bringing about a higher state of being. In examining the signs and symbols associated with the Chosen One, we come to understand that these figures are not merely mythic archetypes or distant deities. They are living embodiments of the transformative power that exists within all of us, the potential to rise above our limitations, to reconnect with the divine, and to create a world that reflects the harmony and unity of the cosmos. The Chosen One represents the possibility of transcending the ordinary and stepping into the extraordinary. They are a living symbol of what humanity can achieve when it aligns itself with the forces that govern the universe and steps into its highest potential. Through the signs and symbols that have been passed down through cultures, we are reminded that the arrival of such a figure is not just an event in time, but a timeless truth. A truth that resonates with the deepest yearnings of the human spirit and offers the possibility of transformation for all who are willing to embrace it. The arrival of the Chosen One is not a mere historical event. It is a cataclysmic shift in the way societies understand themselves, their place in the universe, and their relationship to the divine. This transformation is so profound that it often leads to the dismantling of old belief systems, as the presence of the Chosen One challenges long-standing paradigms that have governed culture ethics and human consciousness. When the Chosen One appears, it is as if the world itself must recalibrate. The old structures, power dynamics, and systems of belief that once seemed unshakable are questioned, and in many cases toppled to make way for a higher understanding of existence. These transformative figures do not just come to inspire change, they embody change itself. The very essence of their being is a catalyst that forces humanity to confront outdated beliefs and to evolve in response to their divine presence. Throughout history, the arrival of such transformative figures has resulted in revolutions, not just in the political or social sense, but in the way humanity perceives reality. Think of the profound shifts that occurred with the advent of figures like Buddha, Christ, and Muhammad. Each of these figures came to challenge and ultimately revolutionize the belief systems of their time. Buddha, with his teachings on suffering impermanence and the path to enlightenment, shattered the belief systems of a society that had long adhered to rigid caste and spiritual structures. His teachings transcended the material and challenged humanity to look inward, recognizing that liberation comes not from external systems of power, but from within. Similarly, Jesus Christ's arrival marked a shift in the spiritual landscape, offering a message of divine love, compassion, and redemption that defied the established religious norms of his time. His teachings spoke of a God who is not distant and vengeful, but deeply connected to humanity, guiding individuals toward love, forgiveness, and transformation. Muhammad's arrival and the teachings of Islam further reshaped the religious and political structures of the time, advocating for justice, unity, and submission to a higher divine will, which redefined the relationship between human beings and their creator. These figures were not simply leaders of religious movements. They were revolutionary forces that shook the very foundation of the societies in which they appeared. Their presence created a paradigm shift, a realignment of ethics, culture, and understanding. In many cases, the old power structures, which were often based on rigid hierarchies and exclusionary practices, were forced to contend with a new, more inclusive understanding of existence. The Chosen One brings with them a message that challenges the status quo and forces humanity to reconsider its beliefs and practices. In the wake of their teachings, old systems of power and control that were once seen as unchangeable begin to crumble as people begin to embrace a higher, more inclusive vision of the world. This paradigm shift is not just a change in thinking. It is a profound shift in consciousness that ripples across all aspects of society. As people come to recognize the divine presence of the Chosen One, their lives are no longer dictated by external power structures. Instead, they are guided by an internal awareness that connects them to something far greater than themselves. The Chosen One provides the key to unlocking this higher consciousness, enabling individuals to see beyond the confines of material existence and recognize the interconnectedness of all life. Through their teachings, they lead humanity toward a more expansive understanding of existence, one that transcends borders, ideologies, and divisions. The role of the Chosen One in collective evolution is not limited to the transformation of individual lives. It extends to the entire trajectory of human civilization. These figures serve as catalysts for global or cosmic change, ushering in new eras of spiritual awakening, social reform, and collective empowerment. The presence of the Chosen One sparks a shift in human consciousness that reverberates across generations, bringing about lasting change not just in individuals, but in the collective psyche of humanity. They guide humanity toward a higher state of awareness, one that recognizes the interconnectedness of all beings and the divine purpose that lies within every individual. Throughout history, there have been numerous examples of figures who embodied aspects of the Chosen One archetype, and their impact on society is undeniable. One such figure is Socrates, whose teachings challenged the intellectual and moral norms of ancient Greece. Socrates believed that true wisdom came not from external authority, but from questioning everything and seeking truth through dialogue and introspection. His influence on the development of Western philosophy is immeasurable, and his willingness to challenge the established norms of his time paved the way for future philosophers and thinkers to explore new ways of understanding the world. Another example is Mahatma Gandhi, whose philosophy of nonviolent resistance and civil disobedience inspired movements for social justice and equality around the world. Gandhi's teachings emphasized the power of the individual to create change, and his belief in the inherent dignity of every person resonated with millions, leading to the dismantling of oppressive colonial systems and the birth of new nations rooted in freedom and self-determination. Gandhi's influence transcended national boundaries and inspired a global movement for human rights and peace. In the realm of science, figures like Albert Einstein and Nikola Tesla exemplify aspects of the Chosen One archetype through their groundbreaking contributions to our understanding of the universe. Both men challenged conventional thinking and redefined the way humanity understands space-time and energy. Their work has had a profound and lasting impact on modern science, revolutionizing not only our technological capabilities, but also our understanding of the very fabric of reality itself. These figures, though diverse in their fields and contexts, embody the qualities of the Chosen One by challenging established norms, transforming consciousness, and leading humanity toward higher levels of understanding. Their impact goes far beyond their lifetimes, as their teachings, discoveries, and legacies continue to shape the course of human civilization. The Chosen One is not merely a singular figure who appears at a specific moment in time. They represent the ongoing evolution of human consciousness, and their influence reverberates through history, inspiring future generations to push beyond the limits of what is thought possible. The Chosen One serves as a beacon of possibility, guiding humanity toward a future of higher consciousness, unity, and transformation. Through their actions, they demonstrate that true power lies not in domination or control, but in the ability to inspire change, to uplift others, and to lead by example. They show us that greatness is not defined by external achievements, but by the internal alignment with a higher purpose. Their impact is felt not just in the immediate transformation of society, but in the lasting shift in the collective consciousness of humanity. As we reflect on the legacies of those who have embodied the Chosen One archetype, we are reminded that the potential for transformation exists within each of us, and that by aligning with our highest purpose, we too can contribute to the evolution of human consciousness and the creation of a better world. Ultimately, the legacy of the Chosen One is not just about the individual impact they make in their own time. It is about the collective shift they inspire, an awakening to a higher understanding of existence, and the realization that humanity is capable of far more than we often imagine. The Chosen One guides us toward this higher state of awareness, encouraging us to break free from old paradigms, embrace new possibilities, and work together to create a world that reflects our highest aspirations. Their legacy is not just in the changes they bring about in their own time, but in the transformation they ignite in the hearts and minds of generations to come. Through their influence, we are reminded that the true power of the Chosen One lies not in their extraordinary abilities, but in their ability to inspire others to recognize and embrace their own extraordinary potential. As we align with this vision, we take our place in the ongoing evolution of humanity, guided by the wisdom and example of those who have come before us. As we come to the end of this exploration into the concept of the Chosen One, it becomes clear that this idea is far more than just a myth, a legend, or a distant prophecy. The Chosen One is a living reflection of humanity's highest potential, a symbol of what we are capable of achieving when we align with the divine forces that guide us. Throughout history, civilizations have looked to these extraordinary figures not just for inspiration, but as representations of the limitless possibilities that exist within each of us. The Chosen One is not a figure separate from humanity, elevated on some distant pedestal. Rather, they are a mirror reflecting our deepest aspirations, showing us that greatness, divinity, and extraordinary potential are not out of reach, but are already within us, waiting to be recognized and realized. The idea that the Chosen One is a living reflection of human potential challenges us to shift our perception. These figures, often depicted as embodiments of divine power and wisdom, are not meant to be worshipped from afar or revered as unreachable beings. Instead, they serve as a call to action for each of us to recognize the latent power within ourselves. The Chosen One represents the peak of human awareness, responsibility, and transformation, and their arrival symbolizes the awakening of humanity to its own potential to shape, heal, and transform the world. They are not just divine beings who elevate us. They are embodiments of the very qualities that we all possess within waiting to be awakened. Through their presence, we come to understand that the power to transcend our limitations, to grow spiritually, and to create lasting change is not something that is reserved for a chosen few. It is a power that is available to all who are willing to step into their purpose and align with their higher potential. As we embrace this understanding, we are called to recognize that the journey of the chosen one is not a singular path, but a universal one. Their story is a reflection of our own. Just as the chosen one faces challenges, transforms their consciousness, and ultimately rises to fulfill their divine purpose, so too are we all on a journey of self-discovery, growth, and transformation. Each of us has the potential to embody the qualities of the chosen one: the courage to face adversity, the wisdom to navigate life's complexities, the compassion to heal and uplift others, and the vision to see beyond the limitations of the ordinary world. We are all capable of transcending our circumstances, of evolving into the best versions of ourselves, and of playing our part in the grand unfolding story of human transformation. The arrival of the chosen one is not just about the transformation of one individual. It is a symbol of the collective awakening of humanity. As we recognize the extraordinary potential within these figures, we also recognize the extraordinary potential within ourselves. The chosen one shows us that we are not defined by our past, our circumstances, or our limitations. We are defined by our ability to rise above them, to tap into the divine wisdom and power that lies within, and to step into our full potential. The chosen one does not come to show us what we cannot be. They come to remind us of what we already are and what we are capable of becoming. They are a living testament to the transformative power of human potential, and their journey is an invitation for each of us to embark on our own path of growth and evolution. In embracing our own path, we must remember that the forces that guide and empower us are universal. The same cosmic forces that shape the chosen one are available to all who are willing to align with them. These forces are not distant or inaccessible. They are embedded within the very fabric of existence, woven into the natural world, the human spirit, and the divine order that governs the universe. As we tap into these forces, we realize that we are not alone on our journey. We are guided, supported, and empowered by a higher purpose that transcends time and space, a purpose that is deeply rooted in the shared human experience of growth, transformation, and unity. So the message is clear. Greatness, divinity, and extraordinary potential are not out of reach. They are within you, within me, within all of us. The chosen one is not just a figure to admire from afar, but a symbol of what we are capable of becoming. They show us the way, but they also serve as a reminder that we each have our own unique path to follow. The journey of transformation, healing, and awakening is not for the few. It is for all of humanity. Each of us has the potential to embody the qualities of the chosen one and to contribute to the collective evolution of consciousness. This is the ultimate message of encouragement. Embrace your path. Recognize the forces that guide and empower you, and step into your extraordinary potential. The world is waiting for the greatness that lies within you to emerge. You are the chosen one in your own life, and your journey is just beginning.